Hey ladies, today I'm going to go through about 6 different exercises to show you how to get some great stretching on your legs and glutes. Here we go. Hey you guys, so we're going to go through some stretching basically for the glutes, quads, and hamstrings today. The first thing we're going to start out with is just a quick rollout. This is probably the first thing I do when I get in the gym. I usually do a full body rollout, but today we're just going to kind of concentrate on the legs. So normally, I didn't mention calves, but it's always good to throw that in. So normally I just kind of work my way up my legs. If you're not used to doing this, I would use a little bit lighter foam roll, one that's maybe a little bit softer. And the more you do it, of course, the heavier or the harder you're going to go with. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of put our leg up. We're just going to think about letting that muscle totally relax. Think about the muscle being like dough. And you're just going to kind of roll off from side to side, trying to find any kind of adhesions or knots or something that you can kind of feel within the muscle. If you do, I usually will take a second or so and just stay on that one particular spot. So you can spend anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds per area. Probably 30 seconds is a little bit better. So once you finish one side, of course, obviously you're going to roll with the other side. So let's move up more into the area we are focusing on today. We're going to go to the hamstrings, kind of the same thing. You just kind of go up on your arms. Let that muscle totally relax, because the idea is we want to get into that myofascial tissue. We want to roll that out. We're just trying to get any adhesions, anything that's kind of built up within the muscle. We're really just trying to kind of get that worked out. So once you've finished your hamstrings, you're just going to kind of sit up. You're going to turn to the side a little bit. The bottom leg is just going to cross over the other. We're going to hit the piriformis, the side of the butt, which tends to be a little tight. So once again, just kind of roll up and down on the side of the glute. And usually you can feel that that feels pretty tight. So you really want to just kind of lean back, but relax that upper leg. Really just kind of let that get in there and really work that muscle. Okay, next we're going to move to the IT band, which is on the side of the quad. This can be a little bit of a tender spot if you're not used to rolling it out, like I mentioned earlier. Use a foam roll that's much softer, because this can be a pretty tender area. Top leg is just going to be over. This is going to help support you, and this is going to help lift up if it does get tender in some spots. And you're just going to think about rolling the whole side of that band out. The IT band is going to run on the side of your leg here. And really think about just trying to relax that muscle the best you can. All right, so once you've rolled that out, of course we'd be hitting both sides for both. If you want to hit the quads, then you can just kind of lay on top of this. You can actually do both legs and just kind of get your quads here. Once again, just think about really relaxing the legs as you're doing this. All right, so that's just a great way to start. So I always recommend getting a nice little rollout. Okay, next we're going to go into more dynamic, some static stretching. Let's see, we're going to start with thread the needle. So this is great for the glutes. So you're just going to start on a mat. You're going to lay on your back. You're just going to bring one leg up. Opposite leg is going to be bent. You're just going to lay flat on the ground. Even that, just pushing this up, bringing the knees together, just trying to push the knee up, you can already feel that pull on the glute happening. So where the thread the needle comes is we're going to bring our hands through here. You're going to reach it through. You're going to grab that opposite leg, and you're just going to pull on that leg. So what that's doing is it's bringing more tension here, pulling that glute, stretching that glute out. Then after a bit, if you want to raise the leg, and just once again, really think about relaxing this upper leg. It's all about relaxing the muscle and letting it stretch out. Maybe hold for 15, 20 seconds. Kind of let that relax. And then I would probably do that maybe 2 more times. And then obviously you do it on the other leg. But you should feel a nice pull through that glute. Okay, next we're gonna stay on the glute. This one's a little bit more dynamic. This is a dynamic standing leg cradle. So with this one, from a standing position, you're just going to reach down, you're gonna grab your shin, you're gonna stand up straight, a little balance work here, grab that, you're gonna grab your knee, and you're just gonna give it a little bit of a pull, and then you're gonna walk. You're gonna grab the other leg, and you're just gonna give a little bit of a pull there as you're walking here, and just kind of bring that knee up. Once again, I'm feeling a nice pull through the back of my quad, my glute. So as you're just walking down a hallway, just kind of just grab and pull. Keep a nice straight back, grab and pull, grab and pull. And high enough to where you are getting a nice stretch through that back glute. Okay, so next we're gonna move into quads. So with this one, you can just use any kind of box, something that has a really good pad for your knee. This is a rear foot elevated quad stretch. So I'm just gonna start by putting my foot on the box, and then I'm just gonna lower down to where my knee is right on that pad. My ankle is fully relaxed. I'm just going to sit up straight. I'm just going to kind of let myself, especially through my hip flexors, I'm just going to let that kind of relax for a second. And then eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about just kind of rotating my pelvic area out, just kind of pushing my pelvis out and leaning back. So getting my butt as close to my foot as possible. So I have really tight hip flexors, so this is really good also for kind of stretching there, but I'm really feeling that stretch through the front of my quads. So we're just sitting up straight and we're just gonna lean back the best we can. So obviously when we're done, we're gonna do the same on the other side. And we may have one side that's a little bit more stretched out than the other. That's what's great about doing these. Maybe one side's a little bit tighter. Instead of holding for a longer time, I would just add in another set of that. So let's say this side is a little bit more stretched out. I would probably do maybe 4 on the other side just to get that side caught up with the other side. Muscle and balance. Okay, really good, really felt that. So next we're gonna do a dynamic standing quad stretch. Okay, so with this one, that's another walking. So what you're going to do as you walk, you're just going to grab the foot, and then you're just going to try to open up the hips and pull your foot up towards your glute. And you're really going to feel that stretch through the front. We're going to walk, we're going to grab that foot, we're going to pull as we keep our upper body straight. I'm just going to try to think about pulling my foot as close to the back of my butt as I possibly can. So you can probably see how I'm really stretching through the hip flexor and through the front. So as you walk and pull. Okay, really good. All right, hamstrings, good old hamstrings. All right, the first one, we're just gonna start on the ground. You can use a band, anything like this, any kind of tube band, anything that you would have at home, even a towel. So we're gonna go into a pulsing band stretch. So what you're gonna do is you're just going to hook this on your foot. The back leg is gonna be straight. We're just gonna pull this to where we feel like there's gonna be some tension when we extend our leg towards the ceiling. I have super tight hamstrings, so this one is a brutal one for me. And it really does stretch those hamstrings out. So you just kind of keep pulsing towards the ceiling. I would probably do maybe 20 to 30 seconds on each side. Just try to think about pushing the heel up towards the ceiling, because there are ways to cheat where you can tuck your heel and push this way, which is a lot easier. I can't really feel it that way. We're gonna try to flatten that foot the best we can and push the heel up towards the ceiling. right, so really good way to get those hamstrings stretched out. Okay, and one of my favorite last ones, more dynamic, is going to be a one-leg bird stretch, walking. So with these, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna balance. You're gonna think about reaching towards the ground. The mistake a lot of people will make if they don't have the flexibility to go down is they're gonna open their hips. So you're gonna be here and you're gonna start doing this because that's a lot easier to do than it is to square your hips off and go down straight and reach for the ground. So really think about that. What are my hips doing? Are they opening up? Are they staying straight where they should be? A little bit of a balance work here too. So we're just gonna keep walking and woo, gosh, my balance today, and reaching for the ground. So just a small walk and kick up. So you really should feel that through the hamstrings. So take a second to just hold and kick, square the hips off, kick up, making sure those hips are squared off and kick up. I mean, I can feel that one all the way down into my calves, so that's another really good one. All right, so we got some really good static stretching, which is great for after your workout, and a couple really good dynamic stretches that should be done prior to your workout. Okay, you guys, I hope these were helpful. I know we all have our areas where we need to probably stretch a little bit more. These are all super effective ones. We always want to make sure we have everything stretched out, but we're strengthening at the same time. That yin and yang and those muscle imbalances. So make sure you get your stretching in. I know it only takes a few minutes prior and after your workouts. Thanks for joining me today. Hey, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're always putting out some great stuff. If you haven't checked out our new Max Shred program, it's great. It's got super customizable programs, customizable eating plans that are super great. And thanks for joining me. See you guys soon.